Let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever felt just a tiny bit guilty for breathing a massive sigh of relief when the days start getting shorter and colder? Well, as a psychologist, I am here to absolutely validate that feeling. Today, we're unpacking why the darker, cooler months aren't just some quirky preference. For a lot of us, they're actually a profound psychological need for our nervous systems.
You know, if you tell someone you actually prefer winter, they usually look at you like you just said you enjoy doing your taxes for fun, right? It's like society immediately suspects something went wrong in your development. Why don't you like the beach? But the truth, it's actually a sign of profound psychological self-awareness. You haven't got a broken thermostat. You've simply recognized exactly what your nervous system needs to thrive.
Okay, let's dive into this, because a lot of winter lovers aren't just drawn to the cold, they are actively repelled by the heat. For folks with highly sensitive sensory processing, summer is an overwhelming sensory load. We're talking relentless bright light, sweating, disrupted sleep, the whole shebang. It's a huge physiological stressor. And get this, it's a recognized medical reality called reverse SAD. It's a seasonal pattern where heat and extended daylight trigger very real depressive and anxiety symptoms.
And the medical community has known about this for decades. To put a timeline on it, psychiatrist Norman Rosenthal, the pioneer who first described seasonal affective disorder, he formally identified this summer variant way back in 1999. So for those who experience it, summer isn't a vacation, it's something to survive, because their nervous systems are essentially redlining, just constantly revving, from May all the way to September. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive gap between cultural expectations and reality. Summer comes with this compulsory costume, right? You're expected to be highly social, constantly outdoors, with this endless enthusiasm for direct sunlight. It creates this quiet guilt if you just want to spend a sunny Saturday doing absolutely nothing on your couch. Winter reality, on the other hand, offers a complete contrast. It implicitly agrees that slowing down is acceptable. It finally gives you your actual face back, the version of you that exists without an audience.
Which brings us to perhaps the most freeing concept of all. Winter is the unsubscribe button. Man, I absolutely love that phrasing. Think about it. Summer imposes a cultural tax on us. Rooftop bars appear on your calendar, group trips get floated, and suddenly you're the difficult one for hesitating. The socializing arrives like junk mail. But winter revokes that tax. It's a period of profound relief from the need for performative socializing. The visible world narrows down, and that immense sensory load of simply being alive in public, it finally recedes.
There is actually a fascinating psychological basis for why this environmental narrowing feels so incredibly good. Back in 2015, a study by researcher Shigehiro Oshii found that introverts and highly sensitive individuals consistently preferred secluded, enclosed environments, and they were measurably happier in them. Winter naturally does exactly this to a landscape. It closes things down, it absorbs the ambient noise with heavy snowfall, and it creates this wonderfully comforting enclosure.
Now, what's really interesting about this idea is that this reduction in environmental input isn't deprivation, not at all. It's calibration. People who love winter tend to favor depth over breadth. They possess what we might call a winter cognitive style, one that absorbs rather than scans, with a super high attunement to overlook details. Think about noticing the extraordinary, specific blue-gray light of a December afternoon. Winter rewards this style of quiet, focused attention in a way the loud, busy foreground noise of summer simply does not.
Let's move on and see how this builds into something actionable. If all of this resonates with you, your brain likely runs hot, meaning it processes things longer and doesn't switch off easily. But the good news is you can mimic that calming enclosure of winter year-round by giving your nervous system the structure it craves. You can start by initiating a dopamine reset to lower your baseline stimulation, gently rebuilding your focus. Combat overstimulation by sticking to a strict sleep guide, and maybe try using a mental clarity planner to help organize your days without the overwhelm. So the crucial point is this. If you've spent years feeling totally out of step with the summer world, it's simply because you've been living in an environment calibrated for someone else's nervous system. Gray skies are not a problem to be solved. They are quite literally the permission your brain has been waiting for to rest. So next time someone asks why on earth you love the cold, ask yourself, are you actually seeking the cold, or are you just finally stepping into an environment where your nervous system can breathe?